So you have to present your body. He says, I beseech you, brethren, right? By the mercies of the Most High, you present your bodies as a living sacrifice. We got to present these bodies what? As a living sacrifice for who? For our brethren. We have to be a vessel of Hamashiach Yahushua. That's who we have to be, a vessel of Christ. That's what it's all about. Not a contagious evil spirit or a gossiping spirit or complaining spirit. We can't be like that. We got to stop wasting the Most High's time and basically step into his moment. Step into his moment or his service with a new way of looking at your own circumstances. That's how we have to be. You got to change our thinking, man. We got to get out that milk stage to graduate to go into the meat stage. That's what we're working on, man. That's how we're going to get into the new kingdom. Why do you think he ain't came yet? Think about it. Why do you think Hamashiach Yahushua ain't came? Of course, he got to set everything up in his time. You brothers ever heard of the Samson option? How many of y'all ever heard of the Samson option? Any brothers ever heard of that? Anybody ever heard of the Samson option? All right. So the Samson option is this.
An Israeli official is quoted in Seymour Hersh's book as declaring, "We can still remember the smell of Auschwitz and Treblinka. Next time, we'll take all of you with us." General Moshe Dayan, a leading promoter of Israel's nuclear program, stated, "Israel must be like a mad dog, too dangerous to bother." Martin van Cruyfeld, a professor of military history at the Hebrew University in Jerusalem, said, "Most European capitals are targets for our Air Force. We have the capability to take the world down with us, and I can assure you that that will happen before Israel goes under." Israeli whistleblower Mordechai Vanunu alleged that Israel blackmails the world with its ability to bombard any city all over the world, and not only those in Europe, but also those in the United States. Israel's threats to preemptively attack other countries have increased since Iran began enriching uranium. Let's consider the nuclear weaponry Israel's believed to have. Up to 400 atomic and hydrogen nukes, including thermonuclear weapons in the megaton range. A range of systems, including neutron bombs, tactical nukes, and suitcase nukes. Delivery mechanisms, including Jericho intercontinental ballistic missiles with a range of 11,500 kilometers, and offshore second strike capabilities using submarine-launched nuclear-capable cruise missiles.
When you look around, there's so many different countries around that have nuclear weapons now. America has nuclear weapons. India has nuclear weapons. Iran has nuclear weapons. China, North Korea, all these places have nuclear weapons. And so the Samson option is for Israel to have, right? The Israel with the heathens living in there. They know they're not Israel, but they have an option. And that option is point their missiles at everybody but their own selves. So if somebody shoots anything, they got their missiles pointed at everybody, they're gonna launch on every single country. It's called the Samson option. That's the day and time that we're living in. The Most High is letting all these countries catch up while the Israelites are getting sealed. That's what he's doing. So be careful and be aware of what's going on. When I say be careful, meaning change your ways. Come into the truth. Do what you're supposed to do. Don't let all those old ways of your own prevent you from moving on. We got to go into the future. Let's go to 1 Peter 2:9. Everything is lining up. They're building the third temple over there in Jerusalem now. They just start building on that.
But none of this can happen until the third Jewish temple is built. This is an artist's conception of how the temple would look built on the Haram al-Sharif. Already, the Jewish Sanhedrin has appointed the high priest, and everything has been prepared for the ritual of daily sacrifice to resume after almost 2,000 years. And if the Jewish people could accept the overwhelming evidence that the temples never stood on the Haram al-Sharif or the Temple Mount, then construction of the coming temple could begin immediately.
Y'all know what that means. When you read the prophecies in the book of Revelation, it tells you that the third temple is going to get built. And what did Yahushua said? He said that it's not going to be made with hands. He said it's supposed to be made with the Spirit. So the people over there don't know what they're doing. They're trying to build a new or erect a new third temple. That's how you know we're in end times. 1 Peter chapter 2 and 9. Let's go there. 1 Peter 2 and 9. This is what we have to do while we're here. But ye are a chosen generation. That's us. We're that chosen generation, whether it be this one or the next one to come. That's the chosen generation. We have been chosen to do something special as well, being here. Our position is to wake up as many Israelites as possible. Turn on their light. It says, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that you should show forth the praises of him. That's what we're doing, showing forth what? The praises of him, who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light, which in time past were not a people, but are now the people of the Most High, which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. That's us. That's the precept in Hosea. He said that we was going to be called a people in the last days. We weren't called a people 100 years ago. They didn't call us a people. They erased us. They eradicated our thoughts. Everything starts in the mind. They eradicated everything the heathen did. They got rid of it. Let's look at somebody who's stagnant in their ways. We're going to go back to our forefather. Let's go to Genesis chapter 11. I want to show you how most Israelites are today. I'm going to show you right now. I just had a thought. When I say we need to graduate from the milk is safe. A lot of y'all say, you know what, the milk is safe. I'm gonna stay drinking milk. I'm in my comfort zone. That's why the scriptures say, be weaned from the breast. You know, when you look at a baby, you try to take a baby away from the breast when they feed you. They will scream, kick, yell. They will do everything to get that milk, that breast back in their mouth. To be weaned from the breast says a whole lot. So we're going to look at this scripture. Let's go to Genesis 11. And let's read verse 31. Genesis 11 and 31. And Terah also means in the Hebrew, Terah, which is Torah. All right, so Terah or Torah or Terah took Abram, his son, and Lot, the son of Haran, his son's son, which was Abraham's older brother, and Sarai, his daughter-in-law, his son Abraham's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan. And they came unto Haran and dwelt there. So they moved during this time frame. Who came out of Ur first? It was Terah. So I believe the Most High had a spirit on him just to move out of that land of Ur. Right? He could have been dealing with Abraham's father first. But look at what he did. Verse 32. And the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. What happened? What happened to Terah? He gave up. He got content. He loved the spirit of milk. He gave up, man. The Most High was like, look, I can't use this dude. He only moved half a foot. That's Israel. We move half a foot, get the Most High. Oh, I know his name. I know what I'm supposed to do. And that's it. You're content. You don't go nowhere else. You die right where you are. Don't move. I'm content. I know where I'm at. I ain't got to go nowhere else. I got the scriptures. I got the scriptures. I ain't got to go nowhere. That's Terah. He died right where he was. Now, let's look at Abraham. Go to Genesis 12 and 1. So he switched up. The Most High switched up. He's like, look, Terah is content, man. He ain't trying to do what I asked him to do. He moved, but that's it. He didn't go nowhere else. So let's see what Abraham does. Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. Now the Most High had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show you. So he's saying, look, Abram, get out of your father's land, get out of his house, because he ain't listening to me. I want you to leave this place, because your father didn't quite know what I was doing, but I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Right? Verse 2. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless you, and curse him that curseth you. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. So Abram departed. That's what Terah, he departed too, as the Most High had spoken unto him. And Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. So he left his father's land. So here they are. They're like nomads. They're all moving. And Abram took Sarai's wife and Lot his brother's son and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran, and they went forth to go into the land of Canaan. And into the land of Canaan they came. And Abram passed through the land unto the place of Shechem, unto the plain of Morah. And the Canaanite was then in the land. So, it sounds like there's more problems. Most I told Abram to leave, but it appears that there's going to be a little bit more problems. You see, what the Most High does, when we have problems, a lot of times the problems is for the purpose of the Most High. There's never a problem without a purpose, all right? Everybody got problems, but there's never a problem without a purpose. That's the afflictions. There's always goodness that comes out of the problems. You understand? So Abram's moving from the nest egg of his father's place in Haran, where it was just them, they was chilling, into a problematic area. Now you got to go into Canaan. And the Most High appeared unto Abram and said, unto thy seed will I give this land. And there built he an altar unto the Most High, who appeared unto them. So now he's living in this land, and he got to live amongst the Canaanites. And this starts a whole bottom of mess, right? From Abraham to Isaac to Jacob, they run into problems being in this land. And the problems always end up being twofold, where they end up getting blessed at the end. So what I'm saying is, you have to leave the milk. You cannot stay drinking milk. Our people love the milk. Look at the projects. Anybody trying to get out the projects? Everybody lives and stays in the projects. Don't nobody leave unless they forced out. There's got to be eminent domain before brothers leave the projects. That's why they got gentrification going on. They basically got to push Jake out of the ghetto. They got to push him out because he done got comfortable. It's the same thing over and over, man. It's the same thing with the churches. We get complacent in these churches, man, but we don't want to grow. The milk will kill you. The milk will kill you. Let's go to Romans 2 and 7. Romans chapter 2 and 7. Romans chapter 2 verse 7. To them who by continuance in well-doing, seek for glory and honor and immortality, eternal life. In order to get that immortality, you have to seek for the glory of the Most High through the scriptures. But unto them that are contentious and do not obey the truth, but obey unrighteousness, indignation and wrath, tribulation and anguish upon every soul of man that doeth evil, of the Jew first, and also of the Gentile. So he's telling me, look, this is starting with our people first. It ain't just the Gentiles. It's us first. If we don't have that mindset to move and to grow, we will die with the Gentiles. Israel was very dense. When you look at the book of Acts, you see how Stephen was going at the Israelites? He was cutting them up. It was one thing dealing with Yahushua or Paul, you know, they was kind of patient, but Stephen was full of the Spirit. He was a fireball, man. He was a fireball. You ever see brothers like that? They come into the truth, they like fireball. You touch them and they will cut you with the scriptures. That was Stephen. He cut the Israelites with the scriptures. He got into the minds of the stubborn and showed them their own stubbornness. That's hard to do. That's what you see some of these camps that be out there on the streets, and they be getting into the mind of people, and you see all this contention, and that's what people love to see on YouTube. They like to see Israelite against Egyptologists. You know, all that contention. They want to see that contention, right? But you look at Paul and Yahushua, it wasn't much contention like that because they knew how to diffuse a lot of the fights that they went through. They diffused a lot of them. Let's go to the book of Acts. And let's go to the 7th chapter. Acts 7, and let's start at 51. Acts 7 and 51. Ye stiff-necked, this is Stephen. Now he was going up against all these disciples in this one, not disciples, all these Israelites who were in this area where they concentrated at during the festival. Basically, I believe it was the festival. It says, ye stiff-necked and uncircumcised in the heart and ears, you do always resist the Holy Spirit, as your fathers did. So do you. This is Stephen. He's saying, man, y'all some hard-headed, stiff-necked. That's what he was saying. Which of the prophets have not your fathers persecuted? And they have slain them which showed before of the coming of the just one, of whom ye have been now the betrayers and murderers, right? Who have received the law by the disposition of angels and have not kept it. That's our people. They're receiving the law from all these messengers, but they refuse to keep it. It's the same way their forefathers felt. When they heard these things, they were cut to the heart, and they gnashed on him with their teeth. They were so mad that Stephen cut them with that, because really it was an insult, because he was saying how stupid they was, knowing that they come from a very righteous, priestly people, and they're not doing what they were supposed to be doing. You know, it's just like today. You see brothers walking around with their pants on their ankles. You know their forefathers wasn't dressing like that. Back in the day, their forefathers was wearing suits, three-piece suits with hats, you know. Now you see them, they got gold all in their teeth. They got their ears pierced all the way up. They got their nose pierced, you know, tattoos everywhere. Just, their forefathers never was like that. That's how Stephen was getting at them. Like, man, your fathers was never like this, man. Y'all wicked. Verse 55. But he, being full of the Holy Spirit, looked up steadfastly into heaven and saw the glory of the Most High, and Yahushua standing on the right hand of the Most High, and said, behold, I see the heavens open, and the Son of Man standing on the right hand of the Most High. Then they cried out with a loud voice and stopped their ears and ran upon him with one accord. So they was going to beat him down. That's in the Bible. People got beat downs. And cast him out of the city and stoned him. And the witness laid down their clothes at a young man's feet whose name was Saul. So they killed Stephen. They killed him. For what? For getting into their minds, showing them how wicked they was. So in this Bible, you have to grow in this truth and leave the milk and become mature by eating the what? Eating the meat. You got to stop going backwards, man, and stop being condescending with Satan. You got to change. We got to move.
And from following the sheep to be prince over my people Israel. I have been with you wherever you have gone, and have destroyed all the enemies in your path. I will make you a great name among the great ones of the earth. I will assign a place for my people in Israel. There I will plant them, and they shall dwell in their own land.